Hi friends, welcome back to Flat Ferret and Friends Tuesday. This week I'm going to be reading chapter 3 from Flat Stanley. Just to go back and remember what happened in chapter 1. Stanley became flat from his bulletin board, and then in chapter 2, Flat Stanley's mom's ring fell. The police weren't sure what he was doing. And then he got mailed to visit his friend in California. So chapter 3 is called Stanley the Kite. And remember, I'm going to read to you like this and then show you the pictures if there are any. All right, let's get started. So chapter 3, Stanley the Kite. Mr. Lambchop had always liked to take the boys out with him on Sunday afternoons to a museum or roller skating in the park, but it was difficult when they were crossing streets or moving about in crowds. Stanley and Arthur would often be jostled from his side, and Mr. Lambchop worried about speeding taxis or that hurrying people might accidentally knock them down. It was easier after Stanley got flat. Mr. Lambchop discovered that he could roll Stanley up without hurting him at all. He would tie a piece of string around Stanley to keep him from unrolling and make a little loop in the string for himself. It was as simple as carrying a parcel, and he could hold on to Arthur with the other hand. Stanley did not mind being carried because he had never much liked to walk. Arthur didn't like to walk either, but he had to. It made him mad. One Sunday afternoon, in the street, they met Ralph Jones, an old college friend of Mr. Lambchop's. "Well, George, I see you have brought some wallpaper," Mr. Jones said. "Going to decorate your house, I suppose?" "Wallpaper," said Mr. Lambchop. "Oh, no, that is just my son, Stanley." He untied the string and Stanley unrolled. "How do you do?" Stanley said. "Nice to meet you, young feller." The man said, George, he said to Mr. Lambchop, "that boy is flat." "Too smart," said Mr. Lambchop. "Stanley is third from the top of his class at school." "Phooey," said Arthur. "This is my younger son, Arthur," Mr. Lambchop said. "And he will apologize for his rudeness." Arthur could only blush and apologize. Mr. Lambchop rolled Stanley up again, and they set out for home. It rained quite hard while they were on their way. Stanley, of course, hardly got wet at all, just around the edges, but Arthur got soaked. Late that night, Mr. and Mrs. Lambchop heard a noise out of the living room. They found Arthur lying on the floor near the bookcase. He had piled a great many volumes of encyclopedia on top of himself. That's him walking home in the rain, soaked and mad. "Put some more on me," Arthur said. Put some more on me, Arthur said when he saw them. "Don't just stand there, help me." Mr. and Mrs. Lambchop sent him back to bed, but the next morning they spoke to Stanley. "Arthur can't help but be jealous," they said. "Be nice to him. You're his big brother, after all." Before I read, I'll show you the picture of him putting the encyclopedias on him. He's trying to make himself flat like Stanley. He's a little mad and jealous. The next Sunday, Stanley and Arthur went to the park by themselves. The day was sunny, but windy too, and many older boys were flying beautiful, enormous kites with long tails made in all the colors of the rainbow. Arthur sighed. "Someday," he said, "I will have a big kite, and I will win a kite flying contest and be famous like everyone else. Nobody knows who I am these days." Stanley remembered what his parents had said. He went to a boy whose kite was broken and borrowed a large spool of string. "You can fly me, Arthur," said. "You can fly me, Arthur," he said. "Come on." He attached the string to himself and gave Arthur the spool to hold. He ran lightly across the grass sideways to get up the speed, and then he turned to meet the breeze. Up, up, up went Stanley, being a kite. He knew just how to manage on the gust of winds. He faced full into the wind if he wanted to rise, and let it take him from behind when he wanted speed. He had only to turn his thin edge to the wind carefully a little at a time so that it did not hold him, and then he would slip gracefully down toward the earth again. Arthur let out all the string, and Stanley soared high above the trees, a beautiful sight in his red shirt and blue trousers against the pale blue sky. Everyone in the park stood still to watch. Stanley swooped right and then left in long, matched swoops. He held his arms by his side and zoomed at the ground like a rocket and curved up again towards the sun. He side-slipped and circled and made figure eights and crosses and a star. Nobody has ever flown the way Stanley Lambchop flew that day. Probably no one ever will again. After a while, of course, people grew tired of watching, and Arthur got tired of running about with the empty spool. Stanley went right on, though, showing off. 3 boys came up to Arthur and invited him to join them for a hot dog and some soda pop. Arthur left the spool wedged in the fork of a tree. He did not notice while he was eating the hot dog that the wind was blowing the string, entangling it about the tree. So that's Arthur eating his hot dog. The string got shorter and shorter, but Stanley did not realize how low he was until leaves brushed his feet, and then it was too late. He got stuck in the branches. 15 minutes passed before Arthur and the other boys heard his cries and climbed up to set him free. Stanley would not speak to his brother that evening, and at bedtime, even though Arthur had apologized, he was still cross. Alone with Mr. Lambchop in the living room, Mrs. Lambchop sighed and shook her head. "You're at the office all day having fun," she said. "You don't realize what I go through with the boys. They're very difficult." "Kids are like that," Mr. Lambchop said. "Phases. Be patient, dear." And that's it for Chapter 3. And then Chapter 4 is called The Museum Thief, so I can't wait to read that next week. So just a reminder, Chapter 1, Stanley became flat from his bulletin board. In Chapter 2, there was an incident with the mom's ring and the police, but then he got mailed in an envelope off to California to his friend. And then Chapter 3, and they met Mr. Lambchop's oldest friend, and then Stanley flew like a kite in the sky, and his little brother Arthur was jealous, so he tried to make himself flat, but I think in the end, hopefully it all works out between them. Yeah, I can't wait for Chapter 4 next week. Remember, if you receive Flat Ferret around, please print him out and coloring him. Also, you don't have to print him out and coloring if you don't have a printer, or if you don't want to, you can also show off one of your friends and show us what you've been up to. All right. Thanks for listening, guys. I'll see you next week. Hi, friends. You just heard me read Chapter 3. I'm so excited. I'm here to tell you that Flat Ferret visited a few people this week, so continue watching and see who he visited and what they were up to. Awesome. I can't wait to see myself. Have fun.
Hi, Camp Arrowhead. It's Flat Ferret and I, Melissa. We're here to tell you guys that we were informing the Native Recreation and Parks Department all about Flat Ferret, and they decided that we should have our very own at the office, which I thought was a great idea. So Mary Lou took it upon herself to bring him around to all the different departments in the town. And since he had been helping her, she figured, why not also have everybody decorate? So Mary Lou decided to do a makeover for our very own town Flat Ferret. How fun is that? I think she may have even named him. So the one thing is that Mary Lou doesn't really use her phone very much to take videos. So she asked me to help her with the technical difficulties that she had. So I'm going to try to get inside the internet so that I can try and help her show you guys where she went and what she did and who helped her decorate our Flat Ferret. Let's take a look. All right, I'm going to try to go inside the internet. Whoa. Did it work? Am I in? Am I inside of the internet now? I think I am. Oh my gosh. This is crazy. All right, guys, I am here so that I am able to help Mary Lou in all her technical difficulties throughout this process.
Poor Freddie is in need of a makeover, so he's going to go around town and see if the wonderful people of the town of Natick will help Freddie look pretty. We're going to start with Aaron from Natick Recreation. Say hi, Aaron.
Hello. I think he needs some blue eyes.
Blue eyes. There you go. Hi, everybody. I'm looking for Freddie. He's here helping the janitor at the Kohl Center clean the building. As you can see, Sean has been working really hard trying to get this building nice and safe for everyone to come back to. But where did Freddie go? Oh, there he is. He's helping do the floors. Hi, Freddie. We're going to go down to the CSC, Freddie, so that you can get some more makeover. Bye, guys. Hi, everyone. Here we are at the CSC. Look at, there is Freddie. And here we are going to go and we're going to travel over into the veterans office who's going to help him get his makeover. Here we go. We're going in. We're going to go see Paul. See you soon. Here we are with Paul. Say hi, Paul.
Hi, I'm Paul. I'm being part of this great project.
Yeah.
And there's Sheila. It looks like she helped too.
Here we are at the CSC. And we have Susan.
Hi, Camp Arrowhead campers.
Yeah, he is getting the best makeover.
We just had our flower pots outside of the building planted with our spring flowers. So I'm adding flowers to your mascot.
Lovely. It's going to be exciting. See you soon.
Someone put on.
Yep, you can put a hat on him if you want, if you're creative.
Okay.
And I'm just
Look at how good he looks so far.
Flat Freddie decided to come home with me. That's Callie. Oops, hi Callie. He's gonna go and visit Alina and Leah. So here we go. Where are they? There they are. Alina, say hi to all the kids from Camp Arrowhead.
Hello.
And Leah, say hi to everybody. And Leah is going to help do a makeover. And Alina, what are you going to do? You're going to
Put a shirt on it.
Oh, I think he needs a shirt. What a great idea. All right, someone to dress him. Okay, well, we'll see how it goes. Maybe he'll visit us for Easter. Bye for now.
Wow, they are so talented. It seems like she may have had another glitch here. So let me try to help by freezing some frames and describing what's going on. So Frank helped out from the CSC, and then she went over to the community development where Annie helped us decorate a little bit too.
So here we are at the Board of Health.
Where Ingrid is helping us out, and Jean. Thanks, ladies.
Here we are. We're in Town Hall, and we're at the Selectman's office, and we're going in, and we're going to see if some of these nice people will help us do a makeover for Freddie.
And they did, of course. Thank you so much, Angela, Dorothy, and Melissa. Well, hopefully I can get out of here. So I started leaving, but then I remembered I need to tell you guys who else Flat Ferret visited this week. Thank you so much for sending in submissions, everybody. And here it comes. We got 2 more people to show you who took Flat Ferret around. Katie Rose. Flat Ferret looks amazing. Katie Rose got to take Flat Ferret on a nice long walk on Sunday. Awesome job, Katie Rose. Next up is Megan. Hi, Megan. Megan and Flat Ferret have been keeping busy by going on lots of walks and doing lots of puzzles and painting. I'm back. Whew! Well, that was so much fun. I hope you guys enjoyed it too. We will see you again next week. And don't forget, if you have a chance, feel free to print out Flat Ferret and color him in. Maybe give him a name like Mary Lou did. Take him on adventures and take a picture or send us a video, and we'd love to feature you in our next week's episode. See you next week. Bye!